Greetings, my fellow travelers, and welcome to Spirit Therapy with Nicole. I'm Nicole Tomasini, and what a week, huh? What a week. We've been flying through a whole lot of water, a lot of Pisces energy, 5 planets in Pisces. So I don't know about you, but it's been quite the whirlwind. Energetically, emotionally, physically. So honestly, it's such a feeling, it's such a personal feeling that I'm not sure if it's happening with everyone. Is it? Maybe you could write in and tell me. But there's just so much going on when you're in the spin of it all. It's hard to tell what's going on. And as the spirit therapist, you feel like you should always know what's going on. But I'll tell you, I may have just made it to YouTube, but I've been doing radio shows for years, and never have I been in such a place where, I can see a lot of things, but I can't see the big picture. So to me, I interpret that as this is a very exciting time of newness. There's a lot of newness and things that we haven't considered before that are now becoming possibilities. So, I know, right? It makes your heart flutter a little. So, me too. We're all riding the same rock, right? So we're all getting there at the same time. And it's all happening in everyone's life in a different way, with totally different details. So, myself included, i.e., tomorrow, our website, we have a website, maybe you've seen it, but tomorrow, our fantastic website is coming out. And so I hope you go and check it out. It's really everything that I've wanted and didn't have before. So I say that, not to brag, but maybe you feel the same way. Maybe something has fallen into your lap that you've just been working on for years. And now here it is. And how do you feel about it? So that's one thing. But, the newness is the newness. So please check out our new website, i.e. tomorrow, at www.spirittherapy.nyc. And go ahead and tell me what you think. You'll know how to email me because the website makes sense. So anyway, possibilities. We have great possibilities here. But of course, with great possibilities comes great fears. We ask ourselves a lot of questions. We don't know what's going to happen. Nobody knows. You launch anything, and at some point it just has to fly on its own. So I don't think fear is ever going away. Fear is part of our internal guidance system. But learning how to work with it right now so that we manifest everything that we want and don't get in the way of it by offering resistance is what we're learning right now, while getting tossed around in the deep, deep ocean of Pisces, which is infinite and vast. Good luck. Really. It's either swim or get tossed around. That's what's happening. So if you feel a little what is going on right now, everybody feels that way. It's very confusing. But don't worry, it's almost over. As of the 8th of March, we have an eclipse that will change everything for the next 6 months. And March, one of the feelings that I can feel about March is that a lot of things are coming. What? Who knows? But things are showing up. We've been waiting for energy connections and get-it-togethers. Everything clicks, happening, revelations, to name a few. So right now it's about learning how to work with our tools. It may still be just the hammer, the wrench, the screwdriver, and the saw, but mastering those, seeing how they work in every situation. Not that, you have to get crazy, like, am I ready for anything? No, but whatever has arisen in your life and either is confusing or you're unsure about or is totally new territory, take out your saw and your hammer and your screwdriver and figure it out, because they're the tools. There's not some magical tool that, the woofa woofa that hasn't been invented yet that you're going to need. No, you have the tools, and only you know how to work with your tools the way you work with your tools. So now it's about really learning, how do you work with your tools? Which also can bring up a lot of stuff. Can it? Do I know these tools? How long have I worked with these tools? Like the general, show me your work. So, but again, that's how we learn, right? Through the fears, through talking ourselves down, and we go, come on, dude, it's a saw. It's back and forth. It's not that, just keep it steady and pay attention. That's it. Right? So, because we have all this Pisces and all this water and expansion, and, as of a week ago, all this full moon, everything's big and bright. And now we're in contraction. So bring it back down. It's not a Tosca opera. It's sawing wood. Good thing to remember. I forgot that today. I'll be perfectly honest with you. and it took a good friend to go, relax. I was like, you're right. So sometimes it's all it takes, right? You can do it for yourself, or, if you're freaking out, call a friend. That's what they're there for. And be honest. I think this is one of the tools that we're learning to work with right now. To be honest with who we are and what we feel, and that we're not always perfect. We're not a robot. That's what makes us interesting. We're also not symmetrical. That's also what makes us interesting. We don't have to be our PR person. That's where things get a little screwy, right? Because we're not really that. So I think it's time for us to start to understand who we truly are with our flaws. They're not really flaws. They're uniqueness. I don't care what it is. It's a uniqueness. And that can be one of your tools, switching how you think about certain things, about yourself, others, your life. How is it not a mistake, not a terrible thing, but a learning process or part of who you are, and is maybe one of your greatest tools and makes you most interesting to others? So, there's a lot of thoughts running around. I mean, if you're tuned into the cosmos and you're going, I can't choose one. What's going? I mean, it's not that I'm not hearing anything, but which one? I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about. That's the way it is. Infinite possibilities. And it's just a glimpse. So, that's the beginning of it. So I'll give you this little tidbit about what to do with all of this newness and possibilities and making known the unknown. when something happens that you're unfamiliar with, you got two options. You either freak out or you figure it out. That's it. Or, well, I think that's part of freak out, going and crawling into a hole in the corner with your blankie. It's a different kind of freak out, right? And I'm going to tell you, all of those are perfectly viable options. Freak out. I'm not going to say don't freak out, because sometimes you need to freak out. Sometimes you need to get it out so that you can figure it out. So if you feel like freaking out, maybe you do. Maybe you can't help but freak out. But all you need to know is when freaking out no longer feels good, then you can work it out so that you can feel differently. And then you've not only figured out how to make yourself feel better, but you're well on your way to figuring out whatever the thing is that made you freak out in the first place. So that's part of the non-judgment, and that's also part of the truth. If something pisses you off, to try to tell yourself, don't get pissed off, is more annoying. Sometimes you have to go, yeah, you know what? That thing really sucks. It sucks. Okay. But everything is God and everything is. Everything is. It's only me that's saying it sucks. But it doesn't mean that I don't have the right to say that I think this thing sucks. And that's part of honoring yourself. And it makes you calm down. I think that's part of why we get all worked up, because we're trying to not get worked up. So what I'm saying is, when you got 5 planets in Pisces, to learn to go with the flow is definitely a good idea. Yeah. All right. Speaking of flow, I have no idea. I could have talked for 10 more minutes or 2 more minutes. I see I'm kind of right in the middle. All right. Well, anyway, so for this week, here we go with March. I'll give you at least the energetic pulse of what it feels like. It feels very kinetic, like pop, 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 sort of like bubble wrap. Thank you, whoever gave me that. Kind of like bubble wrap. You could step on it. You could step on a whole sheet of bubble wrap and all kinds of things just da, 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 and you're like, oh, can I handle all this? Or yay, everything's moving, right? Or there's pops that happen here and there. What they are, who knows? But energetically, they feel chock full of nutrients, of exactly what you need. So pay special attention to this week, this first week of March, and really look at coincidences, what comes into your life, something new, whatever that is, and also look at how you react to those things. And that'll tell you a lot about where you are and what's going on and what's to come. And then after the eclipse on the 8th, we'll have a whole new perspective. I like Tom Lesher on YouTube very much, so you can check him out. He does astrology for the soul. So that's where I get a lot of my information of the stars and the planets. So yeah, big feeling for the next 6 months. So you can tune into him as well and check it out. All right. So any last words here? Well, if you're feeling fearful or unsure or just don't know which way is up, because sometimes, we lose our way, maybe it's a time to check out a spirit therapy session over at spirittherapy.nyc. And we also have intuitive drawings going on there. You can read all about that, but that's also a wonderful portal into a whole dimension of yourself. There's one right behind me here the Space Peacock. So you can have your own personal one done by Mr. Zion. And yeah, so next week we'll have the real camera. Did I mention that? It's sitting behind me, but there was a little technical difficulty and it was this or nothing. So at least I'm not red, but I may still be a little, do I need glasses? Just testing you. All right, so next week hopefully will be crystal clear. And please check out our website and have a wonderful week. Pay attention, maybe start a journal, jot down some notes. I'm telling you, that's the one thing I do see very, very clearly. First week of March, pay attention, see what's going on. All right, lots of love to all of you. Love and light. I bid you good night. Peace, people. Godspeed.